never help anybody, ever.
No, Karl, no. And Karl just interrupted my intro. But anyway, Karl, on Wiki Weekends, I, of course, have a wiki of my choosing for us to riff on. And today, I have brought up the wiki page for Dumb Starbucks, which I will get into in a moment.
Okay, so what is Dumb Starbucks?
Dumb Starbucks.
Dumb Starbucks.
Dumb
Starbucks.
Its origins and owner are a mystery.
Dumb Starbucks is the 5th episode of the 2nd season of the American reality television comedy series Nathan For You, according to this wiki page.
Oh my god. Just say it's a TV show. I know they've got to be accurate,
Dear
but
God.
There's such a thing as too much detail.
I kind of have to maybe leverage that into just Nathan For You in general, because this is a program by Nathan Fielder where maybe the entire point is too much detail. I know you're not overly familiar with Nathan For You in general.
No, I'm familiar with the vibe and the concept. I'm aware it's similar to Joe Lycett, their comedy show, where it's about effectively just trolling.
Attached is the evidence we have, which is a photograph of your car clearly parked in a taxi rank. Here is that photograph. There it is. Very blurry for a start. It was like this weird chalky thing that had been written on the side window. I went back to him anyway. I said, Colin, evidence supplied. I was actually parked on the moon, as you can see clearly here, just attached. That one there.
For interesting television, at very least, and to just generally get, reactions from people and see how people in reality actually react to someone just being very awkward and having very, very dumb ideas.
The plan? Turn the Helio Cafe into the world's first parody Starbucks.
So go on, give me an example then.
Well,
sell the concept of the show to me.
And I think season 1, episode 1 sells it really well. Of there's a frozen yogurt show that just wants more business. And the idea that Nathan comes up with, flat to their face, sells it to them, is that we should sell poo-flavoured frozen yogurt.
Is that serious?
Yeah, the media responds to controversy. We know that. I feel like a poo yogurt flavor might be a news story. If people read the paper, could bring hundreds of thousands.
So you've told me about this before. The show does sound interesting, but I can't deal with cringe. It's the one type of humour I absolutely cannot deal with. And you did send me a clip of Dumb Starbucks, and I did have to quickly scrub through Nathan Fielder talking to regular people, because the cringe sets my teeth on edge.
Yeah, so it's one thing that I don't think I can convince you to watch the full show to talk about. Because
I cannot deal with cringe at all.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a person sell awkward cringe more on camera as their pretend own persona, to the point where people aren't sure whether it's their pretend persona or real, and there are many, many arguments about it online.
Yes, I'm aware of Nathan Fielder as a comedian. And I know, for example, they've been compared favourably to other comedians like Andy Kaufman. And Andy Kaufman was similarly known for affecting a persona so convincingly. There are, arguments to this day about how much of that persona was Andy Kaufman and how much it was a performance.
I watch Nathan For You and I'm convinced that has to be Nathan Fielder being a very, very funny, confident person that is pretending to be awkward, but then they go on late night shows and continue to be the same awkward character.
I just think for me it's a little bit of an uphill battle, because when people tune into a talk show, they're like, ooh, what celebrity am I gonna see and what are they gonna talk about? And then they see me come out and then they're like, all right, what has this guy got?
And that's why I'm comparing them to Andy Kaufman, because that's what Andy Kaufman was where, for example, people maybe have seen the Jim Carrey movie that's about Andy Kaufman. And Jim Carrey, as a huge fan of Kaufman's work, similarly he tried to method act as Kaufman, which ended up just him acting like a prick for so long, to the point where people were trying to beat him up in real life, because it's like, stop acting like this. But then she goes like, that's what Andy Kaufman would do, though. I can't play him and not method act because it's so required.
I was thinking, how far should I take this?
I see. Sound check. Sound check. It's working.
How far would Andy take it?
Yes, well, I think to, so I could probably speak with a bit more authority about, would be Diane Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
The comedian, Diane Morgan, British comedian.
Who plays
she does
Philomena Kunk. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you watch interviews with Diane Morgan, like, she sounds like Philomena Kunk, because obviously it's her voice, but it's very obviously an act.
Yeah, when you watch Diane Morgan talking about playing the character Philomena Kunk on, say, Graham Norton, very much it is Diane Morgan talking as herself. Or I think maybe Jonathan Ross or something I've seen the clip of like, talking on a talk show. It's very clearly not the same person.
Yes. Is it not the same for Nathan Fielder then?
Nathan Fielder,
with his work by reputation.
Every clip I've seen of Nathan Fielder going on talk shows, they present themselves in the exact same way as Nathan Fielder. I've either got to respect them for getting a comedy series by being as awkward as they are, or I've got to respect the bit.
Yeah, well, I said Andy Kaufman was the best comparison. Where, like, to the point where there's people out there who are convinced he's still alive, and they think it's just an elaborate bit.
And the actual series of Nathan for You was written by series co-creators Nathan Fielder and Michael Coman, as well as Dan Mintz, and it first aired on Comedy Central in the United States on July 29th, 2014. And in this episode specifically, I think it's a good episode to talk about just because it's like a thing that probably almost everyone watching, if not everyone watching, is familiar with, of Starbucks.
Yes, so while watching the clip you sent along, I was aware of the story. I just wasn't familiar with it being a Nathan Fielder stunt.
Exactly.
Him creating a fake Starbucks called Dumb Starbucks and saying it's an art installation where we sell coffee.
Do you have the license to sell food and drinks?
I mean, legally speaking, this store has to be categorized as an art gallery, so we don't have to abide by the same health regulations as a Starbucks would.
That's the thing, is this is one of the ones that broke out of not just being an actual TV show episode. This was something that was presented on, like, many American news channels of, like, some guy, we don't know who he is opening up a parody of Starbucks, and he gets away with it because he's called it Dumb Starbucks.
It's almost Sacha Baron Cohen-esque, where Borat, the character, was on the news prior to the release of Borat.
Yeah.
People's like, hey, there's some guy from Kazakhstan filming like a documentary here. People didn't realise it was a character played by a comedian.
Like, some guy from Kazakhstan is at a rodeo just booing the national anthem or some crap like that, right?
Yeah, he sung the Kazakhstani national anthem, which is all the countries in the world are little girls.
Yeah, I thought he booed the American anthem, but yeah, he sung the fake Kazakhstan national anthem, right?
Did you see as well, like, Kazakhstan won, like, bronze at one of the Olympics, and clearly they weren't expecting to be able to play the Kazakhstan national anthem. So they must have... So someone must have Googled Kazakhstan national anthem, and they played Sacha Baron Cohen singing that song as they're stood there on the podium with their hand over their heart, and you see them looking on going, this isn't the national anthem of my country. And you've got to feel bad for that athlete, haven't you? Of, like, you know, you're competing on the world stage for your country.
Literally.
Could not be a prouder moment.
That is literally disgracing an entire country's worth of people.
Yep.
That's rough.
But it does show the impact that these characters and these publicity stunts can have.
It probably gave a lot of people a lot of fucking stupid ideas. But it does say in the wiki here that in the episode, Nathan Fielder attempts to help a struggling coffee shop by renaming it Dumb Starbucks, which is obviously a parody of the American coffee company and coffee house chain. He
does appear to be quite smart in the sense that the idea sounds stupid, but the rationale behind his ideas is sound.
There's always a glimpse of cleverness, but clearly elevated stupidness for the sake of the TV show.
For the sake of television, like the idea of, like, you mentioned, we've talked previously, and I think I tried to watch the episode, I just couldn't get through the cringe, but I appreciate the idea of, he said, hey, we sell frozen yogurt, do a poo flavour. You're going to get people through the door just out of sheer morbid curiosity.
There is going to be news and people talking about the fact that somewhere is doing a poo flavour, which makes people more aware of your business.
Yes, it's the old adage of all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, it's the no news is bad news, right?
Yes. And also kind of like almost protesting. Like the dumb Starbucks episode at least sounds like almost like a form of protest.
That's kind of what it ended up as. Originally, it was just, hey, a guy needed help with his coffee shop. Wouldn't it be fun if we just named it Dumb Starbucks?
It's smart. I just don't know if people would get it. You know, I don't know if people are, you know.
Well, do people get what you're doing now? You're not that popular.
Right.
You have no menu.
That's true.
I mean, what do you have to lose by trying?
I never know, obviously, with, reality TV shows, how much the people on the other end of the camera are in on the bit or not. But essentially, the guy goes to the coffee shop owner who doesn't really seem very interested in the idea, so he just does it on his own.
And just lets him just change everything about the store because clearly
No. He literally abandons the guy who he's meant to be helping.
Oh, and just makes dumb Starbucks on his own.
And just makes dumb Starbucks on his own and hires a couple of people because the dude was not putting in the work, clearly just not interested at all in this idea. So he's like, okay, I've still got television to make, I've still got a TV episode to produce, I guess we'll just do it ourselves.
I found myself frustrated that Elias didn't even bother to show up. I was working night and day to help his business, and he didn't even seem to care. But I wasn't going to let an idea this good go to waste.
Yeah, I can see the logic in it as well, and it's kind of weird that the person in the episode didn't at least consider it, because, again, they said no news is bad news, all publicity is good publicity. It's, as well, you also get to fashion the narrative of little guy being cajoled and threatened, legally speaking, by a big billion-dollar corporation. I think do you remember the example in the UK? There was a local shop owner who got sued by Sainsbury's because he called his little corner shop Singsbury's because his last name was Singh. Did you ever hear the bookend to the Singsbury's story?
Didn't they back down?
No, the guy got threatened by Sainsbury's, the British retail giant. He changed the name of his store to Morrisings. Genius, right?
If people don't know, there's Morrisons.
Yes.
So instead of being a parody of Sainsbury's, he then decided to go after Morrison's instead.
Yes,
so
another shop, and they were more than okay for him to do that because it was fun. They saw this is good publicity to, just get some positive column inches written about our store. Like, why would we sue an independent business person? That's never going to look good.
Literally a small corner shop, right? Yeah. I don't know what actually happened here. Again, there's a lot of production going on. It is a television show. It got very popular, and it got literal mainstream American news outlets to talk about this. And I'm sure American viewers, a lot of American viewers, watching, can probably corroborate the fact that, yeah, this was in the news of a dumb Starbucks, but apparently it was shut down by the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services because they were selling food and coffee. But, it was listed as a company that was at, I think, an art exhibition, but it was actually just selling food and coffee. So, yeah, you can't get away with that because you are cafe or restaurant on that point or whatever.
Yeah, a business's stated purpose can't shift and change, and if you sell food and drink, there are certain laws that you have to comply with to make sure that people don't drop fucking dead.
Maybe you could get away with it if it was an art exhibition that was portraying dumb Starbucks but wouldn't sell you the food or coffee. But the fact they are giving away, they are literally selling, not giving away, selling the food and drink.
Well,
you can't be called an art exhibition, I don't think.
There's a couple of ways around it I can see, and because there's some other examples I can think of. For example, I believe the Jack Daniel's Brewery in Kentucky. It's technically a dry county, so they're not allowed to sell alcohol. What they can sell is novelty bottles that just so happen to have Jack Daniels in them. That's like the legalese way around that. There's also a few like bars in the States where legally a bar has to be 500-yard walk away from main streets or something like that. So they build winding paths into their bars, which technically counts as a 500-yard walk, so they can basically position their bar close to the road. There's also a few places where smoking is not banned because smoking is allowed as part of a performance. So there's a bar in America where you pay entry to get in, and they say it's a recurring, ongoing live performance.
So that was also an Nathan For You episode.
It does sound like an Nathan For You episode. There's plenty of people out there
it was a Nathan For You episode.
Oh, is that the one?
There was a Nathan For You episode where they did a live performance of like this bar today, and it was just people could come in and smoke.
Okay, because I've heard that story, so I didn't realise it was a Nathan Fielder bit.
So, without further ado, smokers allowed.
I've seen it on a bar rescue episode.
Right, yeah.
Where there's some, due to some weird legal loophole, they're allowed to smoke in. There's one bar in one part of the America where people are allowed to smoke, and that's their unique selling point.
That is the idea of the entire show. So if people are curious, that is what the selling point of the show is. Come up with stupid ideas. It's one that stands out to me as well is that they did a gas station, or for us a petrol station, where the gas was like $1 or something like that. So it's super cheap by the gallon. But what they had to do was get it by a rebate. So if they didn't go for the rebate, they had to pay full of whack, right?
Yeah, that's a common tactic a lot of companies use of you get a discount, but you have to send off to get your money back. The expectation there is that not everyone's going to do that. So I'm guessing it's just that taken to its logical extreme.
The logical extreme was, actually in the, tiny little terms and conditions for the rebate was that you had to go on a mountain hike, an hour away, and then stay overnight and solve riddles to find the rebate box, and just slowly whittle the people down, and then at the end of the episode, they're like, oh no, there's actually no rebate box, even though there secretly was. But
make it as much of a ball ache as possible, right? Which is, again, it's a tried and true business tactic.
Fortunately, most of them failed to read the fine print on their rebate slips. They didn't realize they had signed up for a lot more than just a hike.
For example, a lot of giveaways. Let's say, I don't know, Pringles does a giveaway for a free holiday.
Mm-hmm.
The expectation there is that not everyone's going to enter the competition. If you ever tried entering one of those competitions, okay, you've got to give them your phone number, you've got to call up this thing. It's no, not everyone's going to do that, and as a result, they can offer more prizes than they necessarily think than they would ordinarily, because the expectation there is not everyone's going to apply.
We've not long recently been together in terms of just
sexually,
local
yes.
vicinity and sexually.
Yeah.
And just the fact we were in a shop and I was like, oh, look at the competition that they've got going on right now. And it's on a bottle of rum, it was win rent.
Oh, yeah.
Not win a holiday or win anything, win a luxury car, just win rent.
We're in the worst timeline, yeah.
For your house or home or whatever. And it's just...
Worst timeline confirmed.
We can't win a holiday anymore, Karl.
It's not a holiday, no. Not a windfall of money. It's it's win rent. Remember, is it this morning, British daytime TV shows, one of the prizes they were giving away was, we'll pay your heating bill for winter. And I don't think they consider the optics, because usually a prize is something that people don't already have.
Mm-hmm.
So the reading you can have of that, and it's the only real reading you can take from it is that the majority of people watching the show can't afford to heat their home in winter.
It's a luxury to heat your home.
Yeah.
That's the reading of it, at least,
it's
right?
Probably not what they expected, but when you see the image on screen of you've just won 2 weeks rent, it's does that mean that's a prize?
I just want to scream.
Yeah, I guess a funnier example that's less depressing is years and years and years ago in the UK. The company Hoover, who manufacture Hoovers for us and vacuum cleaners for Americans.
Vacuums, yeah.
So synonymous with the brand that over in the UK, as mentioned, Hoover is synonymous for vacuum cleaner, even though it's a brand, not a specific thing. And they had a competition many, many years ago. It was, you buy one of our vacuum cleaners, fill in this form, send it off, and you can get a free trip to somewhere in Europe. I think it was Spain, France, and somewhere slightly further afield.
Which, at the time, was a way more expensive, extravagant thing than it is now. Yeah.
And they teamed up with a travel agent, and that giveaway was really, really successful. So successful, in fact, that the company were like, why don't we do a bigger giveaway? Let's, instead of offering a free flight to Spain, let's do a free flight to America. And they said, let's do this. Let's offer a free flight to New York, Las Vegas, or Los Angeles. And supposedly behind the scenes, the people in charge of Hoover expected that the bigger prize would result in people buying a more expensive vacuum cleaner. In reality, what happened is people went out, bought the absolute cheapest possible one they could to apply for the promotion, which was, I think, £150, and then sent off their voucher for a flight worth $500. And all in all, that stunt cost the company $50 million. I wrote an article on it years ago. The difference between a price of a ticket to Spain and a price of a ticket to America was 3 to 4 times. But you could still buy the same type of Hoover. And for some reason, no one at the company thought that maybe we should limit this to a slightly more expensive product that we sell.
Yeah, maybe it should be the top end of the limit of just, maybe if you buy the premium option, you can go to America.
Yeah. And apparently, there was an executive at the company who had this brought up to them by the marketing firm they hired. And then, well, why would people not just buy the more expensive one? Because they're getting a bigger prize? Like, do you know what people are like? And not only did it cost the company millions, because they got sued to fuck when they tried everything in their power to avoid giving away these things. Like, they'd do stuff like, say people could fly, but only from, like, airports on the other side of the country. Or deliberately offer them flights that were, like, you know, like 5 years in the future to make them not want to take it. They also, as well, completely cratered any chance of someone buying one, because the second-hand market was flooded by just new vacuum cleaners. Because people were buying them to get the tickets, because the tickets are worth more than the vacuum cleaners. And it said that you could not get married at the time that took place without getting at least 5 or 6 Hoovers in your wedding gifts. But yeah, folks at home, let us know, like, you know, a loophole or, like, you know, good deal you've gotten by carefully reading fine print or fully taking advantage of the terms and conditions. Because you know what? The companies who are offering these deals would absolutely 100% relish any opportunity to screw you out of your money. It is your moral imperative to do the same to them.
But yeah, if anyone is wondering how this dumb Starbucks got around this loophole, is that essentially they weren't even shut down for it either, because I guess they either actually got shut down by health department, or they just closed because it's a TV episode. And
to me, it feels like Nathan Fielder realised this is a lot bigger than I ever expected it to be. I didn't sign up to lead a one-to-one battle against Starbucks. I was just trying to make a funny episode of a TV show. That kind of made a funny point.
I realised that, yeah, it's reality TV, and I think that's more likely, is that we made, I think, either statewide or national, I don't know because it's America, but yeah, they made a lot of news. They had, like, queues going around several corners of a strip mall. There were, like, dozens, if not hundreds of people queuing up for dumb Starbucks in this episode. And it's like, oh, this got bigger than I thought for this dumb TV stunt.
Yeah. I was stunned. We had more customers than I ever dreamed of. And within 24 hours, dumb Starbucks had become a worldwide sensation.
Yeah, there's absolutely artistic value here. To me, this is a protest. This is a protest against the big fish, the leviathans of Starbucks.
So I was watching, like, the clip you sent along, and you have, like, people outside talking about, yeah, it's a swipe against, like, the big guy from the little guy. People were saying, is it Banksy doing it?
Yeah.
My reading of it is maybe just Nathan feels like, this is more attention than I wanted. this isn't the fight I want to get
The
involved with.
production crew just did not want to get sued by Starbucks, is how I read it, right?
Yeah, and also, even if we have got a point and we might win, we don't want to invest our time doing this. This is not what our intention was. We just wanted to make a funny episode of a TV show.
Because their entire argument was it's parody, which it might be parody, but you would have to go to court to argue this, and you would be going to court against Starbucks. You could see them immediately getting ripped apart by Starbucks as a giant company. And obviously it's backed by Comedy Central, but...
Yeah, I can imagine as well, like I said, they might have won. Might have emphasis there been on might. I don't imagine that Nathan Fielder wanted to do that. Like, he didn't set out to start a national conversation. He set out to make a funny episode of a TV show. I think to John Oliver, another comedian, presents like, American show Last Week Tonight. There's like a few episodes where he's like done stunts that have gone super viral. Like, for example, once he did it, he parodied the Trump hat, Make America like great again, with Make Trump Drumpf again or something like that, because he found out Trump's original family name was Drumpf. And he talks about how they sold that hat as a joke. It got sold out in seconds, and Jay-Z asked for one. And he talks about in an interview of like, he went to HBO and told them, if you give one to Jay-Z, we're no longer making a TV show, we're a hat company. This joke has gone way further than we ever thought it would. We have to shut this down now.
And you can also buy these Make Donald Drumpf Again hats, which we are selling at cost, meaning we've chosen not to make a profit, a fact which will probably irritate Mr. Drumpf more than anything else I've said tonight.
It's gone too far.
Yeah, it's like, obviously they did it as a joke, and they didn't expect the joke to go that viral. And like John Oliver himself admits of like, look, it was funny, but we make a TV show. We can't put all of our efforts into this. It's not what we set out to do.
In my brain, it is Comedy Central just going, we already have enough potential lawsuits with South Park. Just please leave, let it be.
Yeah, we've got the South Park guys to deal with, for fuck's sake.
We have so many lawyers with so many plates right now with South Park every year. Just let us be, please.
Well, I appreciate the conversation, though, because like I said, it's the point being made was genuine, and the fact that people think is this like a Banksy, like political statement type thing, shows like how effective the messaging was, but I don't imagine that was what they were planning to do.
It's one of those weird things, right, of like, on the one hand, I think the reason that I was reminded to talk about this episode was because, like, recently there was some people kicking off the line because, like, there was like these bear cups that Starbucks people were buying before like people could actually buy them, and it's like this limited edition thing, and capitalism and Starbucks and all that jazz, and it's a revolving door of shit shows. But yeah, it's just like there's so many people willing to go against the idea of Starbucks by just calling it dumb Starbucks, but then there's also just so many people who don't care and buy Starbucks. And
it's Nathan Fielder, I imagine, did not want to lead a national fucking movement. He doesn't, from all I've seen of him in the limited exposure I've had to his content, he doesn't really seem like the national movement spokesperson material.
Also doesn't play to him being potentially a character, right? Where he's going on these reality TV shows presenting himself as like this person. It probably doesn't play well to be the guy who's on like national news all the time, right?
I just don't think it's something that seems to suit his brand. Like, I think it's like John Oliver mentioned earlier, of the amount of times where something he's done on Last Week Tonight has been hailed as this huge, big, like, political movement, and he himself talks about how uncomfortable it makes him. Like, he's just a comedian.
He's just commenting on things.
Yes, and like he talks all the time about how uncomfortable he is when he gets heralded as like this huge, big icon of an entire movement. It's like, I'm just a guy.
One could make more of an argument for someone like Banksy.
One of the funniest fucking things I've ever read is the dedication at the start of Banksy's book, where it is like the Metropolitan like police, where he reached out to them and asked them for a comment, and they said, "There's absolutely no fucking way. We're going to give you a quote for your book," and that's the quote he puts in the book. Just a troll to the end. Or like when he had that artwork where the moment it was sold, he like via the internet set the frame to shred it. second
that
it
was
sold.
great. The moment it went out of auction. Yeah.
Yep, the moment someone spent like however many millions of dollars on it, it instantly activated a shredder that started cutting it up in real time.
That's got to have meant, though, that like either Banksy or a stooge was like in that crowd waiting to just press that button. Imagine being that person just waiting to just hear how much that Banksy got paid for, and then you press the shredder button straight away.
Yeah, like Banksy is like... I love their work, and I love like the fact they just give no fucks.
Yeah.
Their art exhibition, which I unfortunately couldn't go to in Edinburgh, I believe. And they specifically chose there. And are you familiar with the Duke of Edinburgh statue that has like a traffic cone on its head?
Maybe?
So there's a Duke of Wellington statue in Scotland that has a traffic cone on its head. And it has now become like a point of national pride among Scots that the moment the council sends someone to take that cone off the head, someone goes up and puts it straight back. Instantly.
Someone finds another traffic cone.
Yes, instantly. Yeah. And it's to the point where the current Duke of Wellesley tried to get a photo of that statue without a cone on its head and couldn't find one. And they had to contact like Scottish National Archives. Like, have you got a single photo with that fucking traffic cone on the head? And Banksy specifically chose the Modern Art Museum in front of that statue for one of their displays because they consider that to be their favourite example of modern art. And they say it's just an organic expression of Scottish rebelliousness and the mischievous spirit of the people who live here.
Yeah. Not the statue itself, but just the fact that the traffic cone is on there.
And the fact that it represents just the enduring spirit of Scotland, like the Scottish people, that every time the establishment, the man, tries to take it down, the response from Scots people is, it's funny, put it back.
And if you would like to enable an act of rebellion against the big man, then make sure you are subscribed.
Who's this big man
to Wiki
we're fighting against?
We're fighting against YouTube. YouTube hiding our videos. We constantly get comments of like, I haven't seen your shit for years. It's like, well, make sure you remember to subscribe and hit the bell and all that good jazz.
I'm not signing up to fight YouTube. I'm too tired.
No, the people are fighting them on our behalf, Karl. By subscribing and watching more content.
Yeah.
Watching more videos.
The laziest act of defiance ever. Watch more of our videos. Let's
Just
go.
put it on in the background. Do it.
It's great.
Pay us.
Do you remember there's a band, it's Wolfpack, where they had an entirely silent album on Spotify and they encouraged their fans to listen to it on repeat as much as possible. And they used the funds from it to fund like a tour.
If you want me to put up a 24-hour silent video with maximised ads on, Karl, I'll do it.
That's a good idea, but I feel like if we tried to do that, we'd probably get demonetized because YouTube probably wouldn't play nice if someone tried to game the system.
Well, it's better than putting... Is it better than putting 24 hours of licensed music in? We'll find out. Let's try both.
Do you know what, though? I think we could try it. If you want to be the star, you want to try and poke that bear, and you want to upload a 24-hour stream of our content that has like just an ad every 5 minutes.
Not a stream, just one video. Every 5 minutes you get an ad, but it's a silent video.
And we want to encourage our fans to just watch it over and over and over again. So leave it on in the background when you go to sleep.
Anyway,
so thank you for watching. On Patreon, just watch that video. That's a good idea. Do you want to try that?
Maybe. Potentially.
We'll make a video with as many ads in as possible and just tell our audience either support us on Patreon or watch this video overnight on repeat.
That would be funny.
It'd be funny. I would not like to see YouTube's response if it went viral.
No, I would not.
If you'd like to try it, Lucas, if you want to poke that bear, you got a big enough stick?
I want to know if people want to see us poke that bear, so let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Have you got a big enough stick and a heavy enough set of stones to poke that bear and stand your ground? I sure shall, but I'm too tired. I'm too old. I'm too old to fight.
Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely day.
Cheers.
Oh, what a funny story. Thank you, Karl or Lucas.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, yeah, we're reacting to the content we just made. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot? So this is the section of the video where we give a shout out to our big PPs. That is our code we use for our Patreon producers over on our Patreon.
It is indeed. And I somehow got swindled into this with you just improvising the big PP out of nowhere.
Do you know what? Yeah, I made an executive decision. We're going to call our Patreon producers the funniest possible acronym, the PPs. he's doing his dabbing. He's bringing it back. Showing our age. Lucas is hitting the sickest dab you've ever seen.
So for the first shout out, we've got to give a thanks to Daddy Grunt and Karl. Can you
We make the joke every time of... I like to put fun clips in for each person who supports us as a big PP. What's your favourite effort from a video game?
Oh, I was going to say, who's your favourite daddy?
Who's my favourite daddy? Ooh. I'd say my dad. My dad's not been doing well recently, so I'll say like, shout-outs to my dad.
We can't put a clip in of your dad.
No, but I can give him a shout-out in a video. No one's going to stop me.
Shout-out, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, shout-outs to Karl's dad. Yeah.
So cheers to Daddy Grunt and cheers to Papa Smallwood.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
The elder Smallwood. At that point, he's the big wood, isn't
he? He's become the giant oak.
He has indeed, yes. But the next person to shout out is a person who's been supporting our content for a while now, and they seemingly want to see me suffer by taking a gauntlet I threw down many years ago, dipping in a bit of dog poo and slapping me across the chops, because they always submit their Patreon producer name in a language I do not speak. I believe Nahuatl. So I'm going to give it my best shot now. So Tinakui, Horshata, Octilane, Tomi, Sema, Sikapatia, Ta, Zemo, Tek Pacho, Nitla, Machtia, Ipan, Colta, Machtiployan, and then they have parentheses, you said a different la. Because they got cut off by
the character
limit over on Patreon. And you know what? I'm reaching my fucking limit with these pronunciations.
I keep throwing Karl to that one specifically because I'm like...
Go on, explain this.
You are the one that threw down the mantle of, fuck it, make it a different language, I'll do it.
And so behind the scenes, me and Lucas said, okay, what order are we going to go in for these shout-outs? And Lucas always mysteriously picks the order where I have to say the hard-to-pronounce names.
No, I don't. I specifically always just say, which one does Tinukui or Chatter come into? Give Karl that one, because you're the one who threw down that gauntlet.
We're supposed to be in this together. I threw the gauntlet down, did not tell Lucas, and someone had picked it up and just like, do you like the boxing glove arrow from like Green Lerma arrow? And just hits me across the face. But you know they dip it in dog poo first.
But I don't get off much better with the next one because I've got to translate emojis into words apparently.
Go for it.
So we have the Burning Dragon here with I'd guess like a big eye face, an uwu face, a little mustache face, and then maybe a happy face throwing a table at a very concerned face in emojis.
Very good. Giant eye, dead fish, cat head, guy doing this.
As I often joke, our fans are now submitting to us their names in hieroglyphics. And hoping we know how to pronounce them, which just makes me appreciate another long-time supporter, Rosalindis Memphis, all the more. They've been steadfast. They've been steadfast in both their support and what they want to be referred to in this section of the videos, and I very much appreciate that.
And I'm guessing we still have more of the Memphis song list to go through at this point. Apocalypse.
I found a Nightcore cover that Mark Cohn won't copyright strike. Because I had to make it slightly more Nightcore, because I like to put in clips that we can like slot in the shout-outs to our big PPs in. Mm-hmm. And for Rosalindis Memphis, I keep trying to put in a clip from Mark Combs walking in Memphis. And I found a Nightcore cover that I additionally sped up to make it even more Nightcore.
That is a song I would have never expected to have a Nightcore version of.
There's a Nightcore version of everything, Lucas.
That's true.
Like, Nightcore is for... They're still making it. There's still people out there making Nightcore.
Just the heroes. But speaking of...
That's correct, yeah. There's not people out there. There's fucking legends out there still making Nightcore covers.
But speaking of other heroes, Karl, we do have to thank Kick and Bucket, another hero who... Again, we don't mind that people are changing their names to make it more difficult for us. We do still encourage it. I know that we make the joke of like, how dare you? But we still encourage you to just make it difficult for us because it's funny for content, right?
Yeah, like some people, some members of our audience like shooting us in the backs of the knees and watching us crawl over broken glass.
And I appreciate that we've been getting support from Kick and Bucket.
Feels good.
Who has not decided to do that. They've just, again, kept it simple. But, yeah, I would say to people who are watching this, who are like, man, they really don't like that we're making it difficult. It's like, we do. We're just trying to make this fun.
Another element that plays into it is that we personally feel bad if we can't pronounce the name, because then the person isn't getting the proper credit we feel they deserve. It is indeed, yes. And the next person we move on to, another long-time supporter. We know this because they say in their name, which is Be of Awesome. This month marks 1 year of Patreon support. Here's to another. Cheers. Beer glass emoji. Clink. Beer glass emoji. And I'm not drinking because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but tink.
I mean, I'm drinking some squash, but yeah, clink. Yeah.
I thought you were going to smash that into your camera then. Like you smash it into your camera and then just like smash cut to me and you like in our Discord being like, look guys, we need some more Patreon support because Lucas has no camera.
I need another 500 quid for a camera, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the equipment, people probably think like, these videos look real cheap, the equipment's not cheap.
Yeah, no. No, unfortunately not.
It's because those Fact Fiend coffers were pretty deep back in the day, eh?
Allowance day, ding, 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 ding. You don't deserve an allowance. Sure we do. Ding, 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 ding.
Ice cream man, ice cream man! Well, the next person we have to thank that also is helping pay towards those expensive equipment costs is Ghost, Little Ghost, Ghost. And those ghosts are little emojis.
That's
so
my
you.
favourite nursery rhyme. Ghost, Little Ghost,
Ghost. He actually runs off the tongue pretty well.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice little ditty, that.
Yeah.
Ghost, little ghost, ghost, little ghost. Try and say it like 5 times fast. Ghost, little ghost, little ghost, little ghost. I like it. You put a bit of Nightcore behind that. We've got the makings of a song. We've got the makings of a smash hit there.
Do we have the rights to that, or does Little Ghost?
Well, you know, they'll get a producer's credit.
The PP credit.
Yeah, they get a big PP, and they'll be credited on the album as a big PP. But someone else we need to credit is Split Screen, and their name in full is Split Screen asks, would pharaohs think Anubis girls and Curse of Ra are peak? Lucas, you're more online than I am. What is an Anubis girl, and are we going to have to edit this because it's a thing we can't put a clip in or picture of?
So I'm not fully sure, because I googled the term Anubis girl, and the first thing that came up was a fandom of the House of Anubis category females. So it might be the women from the House of Anubis. It may just be girls that look like the fictional mythical character Anubis. I'm not 100% sure. And then the Pharaoh's Curse seems to just be like the curse of Ra. And it seems to like be like memes which involve like Egyptian curses of people being like covered in sand.
Yeah, is anybody out there more online than myself or Lucas who can explain this reference to us? Because I don't get it. If they're talking like just girls doing cosplay as Anubis, I'm all on board with that, but I don't think that's what this is. What is it? A group of 8 teenagers who live together in Anubis house that serves as a boarding house and elite boarding school in the United Kingdom. It is based on the Dutch and German show Het Huis Anubis. Get all the seasons on iTunes.
On iTunes?
That's enough internet for today.
Yeah,
that's enough internet today. And the last person to shout out someone has a nice, simple name that I'm hoping I'm not going to mispronounce, which is Ranma Sawatame. So thank you very much to Ranma Sawatame for not making me have to look up a wiki on a... I might have to watch this show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was also my shout out, but yeah, sure, we've just been twisted
Do I
around.
want to go to the Anubis verse?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's what they're referring to.
Is it?
But yeah.
I'm so sorry, Ranma Sawatame. It's like, there's like, just, you got Anubis.
Yeah. No, shout out to Ranma Sawatame, who was meant to be my shout out, and I think Karl just got a bit flustered.
I'm Ranma Sawatame. Sorry about this.
I got flustered by the Anubis verse. Jerome Clark is a main character. He lives at Anubis house. He's a prankster who always has tricks up his sleeves.
Anyway, I hope that Karl can find a very good clip for Ramaso to round out this one and not just like get absolutely dunked on by some Anubis girls.
Internet, help us.
Internet, please.
In more ways than once, you can also support us on Patreon and like send us down more weird internet rabbit holes if that is your goal.
If that is your goal, we have to look this up. We do. Thank you for your support, everyone.
This is going to be an entire afternoon of Googling for me, Lucas. 1,352 articles.
Thank you all for your support. Karl's going on a weird rabbit hole right now. We appreciate you all, and yeah, thank you for the month of support.